Hello, good evening. I have something to read here. Did you know that you were created for a purpose? And what does this mean? It means you were created to live in a creative space that is unique to you and to make the world a better place. That's the definition of purpose. And I got this from my book, Shining in Your Spotlight. I'm the author of this book, this amazing book that is blessing so many lives. So if you know that you want to grab a copy, it's available on Audible and it's also available on Amazon. So my name is Seremi and I'm an author, like I just said, right? I missed other things. I'm a mom of three, and this is my Count Up series leading up to Saturday, where I'm going to be having an virtual author conversation with a library based in California. They've been promoting my book for a while now, and we're going to have an awesome conversation. So you can join us on Saturday at 11 a.m. PST. Okay, so today I'm talking all about purpose, and I just describe purpose as something that has to do with the fact that you're living in a creative space that is unique to you. So your creative space is definitely different from mine because I know that people grow up and they feel like I don't know what my purpose is. I know I used to hear that a lot when I was growing up. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what. And then you feel like this is such an ambiguous word, like something that you have to go and search for like a treasure. Honestly, it is as easy can be spelt. Purpose is not as difficult as that. I just define it as living in your own creative space. I living in my own creative space and expressing that uniqueness, that creative space that is unique to me, that is unique to you, and making the world a better place. That's the essence. I always like to describe it like this. If I have this bottle, it has a purpose, right? For me to be able to sip some water, right? And that's the same thing about anything. There's nothing that was created useless, honestly. Like, come to think about it, the chair, the table, everything, the pen, everything was created for a purpose. And that's the same way that we were created as God's grand design to live in that the creativity of the bottle is to hold water, right? So that you can drink anywhere, whether you're in the house, whether you're outside. And that's the same thing in life. We were created to be useful and impactful to everyone around us. That's what purpose is. Does this make any meaning to you? Please leave me a comment if you're already processing in your mind what you think your purpose is or how you have lived out purposefully before now. Okay, so I'm just gonna go straight into what like a little bit about conversation about this, but that's just the basis of what purpose is. So don't go about trying to figure out I don't know what my purpose is. Like when I was young, I'll give you a typical example. When I was young, I used to say when they start asking you to find what your talents are, your skills are, I'm like, I don't think I have like many talents and skills. I only know that I was that person who is more like an encourager, if I could use that word, because that word encourager is actually in the Bible as one of the gifts of the Spirit, right? I knew I had that, but I wasn't sure how that worked. I didn't know how to harness it, but it was something that was there. And even at that stage, I know I was using it purposefully because I'll give a typical example of how somebody once told me that she draws strength from me. Till today, that word never left me, right? That word never left me. So it means that even when I didn't know what purpose is, I was already fulfilling purpose and living purposefully. So, can you think about the fact that if you could do it passively without even knowing, because you're just expressing uniqueness that is in you, how much more when you now cultivate it, develop it, and then use it? Just the same way that musicians train their voices to now express music in a more beautiful way. Okay, so basically that's what purpose is. So this is just my admonition to you. Like, do you know what your purpose is? Have you found out those things that are unique to you that will add meaning and color to somebody else's life. It doesn't have to be on a grand scale. And that's the whole essence of the spotlight, right? This shining in your spotlight. It doesn't mean that you're going to be in the spotlight like Beyonce or anybody else. But as long as you're living purposefully and impacting one person at a time, right? One person at a time. Somebody is being blessed by you, somebody is being touched by you. That's purpose. Is as easy as that. So, what I want you to carry from this conversation today is the fact that in the long run, be conscious of who you are, understand your purpose, and intentionally live it. Because until you intentionally live it, you're not going to make that impact on a bigger scale. So purpose is never a destination. Don't go about looking for I don't know what my purpose is. Your purpose is was has been with you since the day you were born, right? You're not going searching for it. You only discover and harness and try to fine tune it to make it better. So it's part of what your daily process, your daily practice, I would say, should be. It is the decisions that you make every day, right? The compassion that you show to somebody else. Like I said, I used to be that encourager. No, I still am. Let me not say I used to be. I still am that encourager, right? It's the gifts that you use consistently, even when no one is looking. Like I said, I was using it even before I thought I knew what it was, right? So here are 3 ways that you can practice purpose every day. Use what you already have. Don't go looking for something elsewhere that's that is not whatever. Purpose evolves over time, right? Purpose evolves. So for now, the now is for you to use what you already have in this now. Your skills, your experiences, your story. Those are the things. Don't wait for any perfect moment because there's no perfect time for anything. The perfect time for anything is always now. So start with what you have in your hand. That's how God asked Moses, what do you have in your hand? Elisha asked that lady, the woman or the widow, right? What do you have in your house? Those little things that they commonize. Moses said it's just a rod. And she said, oh, it's just a very tiny jar of oil. Those are the little things that God wants you to use to be a blessing to somebody else today. So, in being a blessing means that you're going to serve somebody with that purpose of yours, right? Purpose is revealed through helping others. I always like to describe life as a big puzzle that God has created. And every piece of the puzzle is you and me in that grand design that God has made this world to be a beautiful place. So, as long as you're doing your own thing and touching somebody else's life, right? On the left, on the right, everywhere you go, you are fulfilling purpose. And guess what? As you do those things that you do, it's going to grow, it's going to evolve, it's going to, become bigger. Like, look at me today, right? I just told you I used to be an encourager, and it has been translated into 2 books, right? That which God has given me, right? So ask yourself the questions of what can I do with what God has given me? Because in the end, you want to be here living purposefully every single day, right? Not just for the sake of going to work, doing your thing at work, coming back home. That's not the fullness of the experience of purpose, right? So ask yourself those questions like, what can I do better, right? What can I do differently? How can I harness this skill that God has given to me? Because in the end, you are shining in your spotlight as long as you are harnessing those gifts and talents that God has given to you. So that's basically what I have to share today. So I'll be waiting to hear from you. If there's anything, if there's anything that you think you want to add as a contribution, right, to what I've talked about, you're welcome to either drop me a comment. You can send me a DM. I always appreciate when you send me a DM. Okay, thank you very much. So I would say one final thing is that most people would, like I said, most people would think of purpose as a big assignment, but no, it's not. It's not you owning a stage, a physical stage. Is you owning your stage in this thing called life, right? Is you owning your stage. I said your stage, right? In this thing called life. Purpose is just simply giving value, showing love, showing like being impactful, right? And as I said, it grows as you grow. So continue to evolve, Let the best of you continue to show, because guess what? God has called you a light in the world and a salt in the earth. Those two things are fulfilling their purpose of lighting up the world and salting up the earth, like adding flavor. So go ahead to make flavor, to produce flavor in the lives of those that come in contact with you, and go ahead to shine light into the world and make the world a better place. All right. Thank you very much. I hope this has been inspiring. I will be waiting to see your comments or your DM. All right. I can't wait for Saturday, actually. I'm excited. And once again, thank you to the California State Library that is hosting me on Saturday in this amazing conversation that is coming from my book, Shining in Your Spotlight and Made for More. So I'm looking forward to Saturday. But until then, have a great night rest and God bless you.